And you are reading the title correctly. It is called, Does Donald Trump Want to Be Dictator or President? So there is this site. I'm actually going to go to the screen share right now. Share entire screen. So there's this website called UNU. And this is where you can have debates about politics and all and everything. So this question that came up on UNO, I thought it was a really good question. It's called, Does Trump Want to Be Dictator or President? And as you can see, there's little magnets right here that pulls this puck to discussion. As you can see, based on where the puck was going, it was leaning towards dictator. So 90% of people believe that Donald Trump wants to be dictator. Pretty much basically because of things he has said about Muslims and all, and the way his supporters have been acting at his rallies. Along with that, you can also replay, as you obviously you can tell, you can replay these questions. There's also a plot section. So click on that. You can see that those dots are leaning more towards dictator. And there's other sections to this part, such as it's a toss-up and bad question. There's also other things you can ask. A lot of them have lately been about the presidential race, on like who people are going to vote for. People have mostly said third party in this case because they don't like Hillary, nor do they like Donald Trump. But majority of people on UNU, regardless of political party, actually believe that Donald Trump will end up being a dictator if elected, and that he wants to be dictator. So I don't know how the YouTube community feels about this, but to me, I feel that the things Donald Trump has said is sounding very, very similar to Mussolini and Hitler. I have read books about them, and some of the things he is saying are pretty similar to what both Mussolini and Hitler have said. Now, I know you should not compare people to Adolf Hitler or any politician to Adolf Hitler because it's offensive. But, you know, I think it's pretty fair to say that, you know, with Donald Trump, he does have some similar viewpoints, but in a different way. And that he's being open about it. For goodness sakes, he wants to build a wall at our borders, especially the U.S. border, the Mexican and U.S. border. And remember, Ronald Reagan was the one who said, tear down that wall, and here Donald Trump is saying, build that wall. So I do feel dictator is a little more accurate than president. I'm not too fond with Hillary Clinton either, simply because there are some things I do not agree with her on, but also, you know, yes, she has admitted she made a mistake with the emails, but if I had to choose between the lesser of two evils, Hillary would be my pick, even though I wouldn't like it so much. I can survive 8 years of Hillary Clinton over 4 years of Trump. That's how much I do not like Donald Trump. Heck, I'd rather have 3 years of Bush over Donald Trump. But yeah. And there's actually more things besides politics to this site. By the way, this video is not sponsored. There are more things to it. There's such as, there's other questions such as, Can Trump recover 10-point loss in polls via messaging resets? The answer was no. And I will replay that. Because I'll show, because if you want to, I'm going to play that one for you all too. So this was the question. Now watch. It's a scatter kind of thing, what they do. Majority of people said no. And I think the reason why people are saying that is because Trump did attack a Gold Star family. This is more of a little fun way of kind of like a poll thing. And here's another one. If Donald Trump is president, who will be nuked first? And majority of people said USA. This is coming to show you how dangerous Donald Trump is. To the point where people said 90% that Donald Trump wants to be dictator. You know, and with this question, if Donald Trump is president, who will be nuked first? Majority of people said United States of America. This is really scary, folks. We cannot let this man win. If people are feeling he wants to be dictator, and if people feel that if he becomes president, that the United States will be nuked first, we're in danger with having a Trump presidency. We are more in danger with the Trump presidency than having any other candidate. And as much as I don't like Ted Cruz looks like an angel compared to Donald Trump. There's another one. There was another one saying if the world were to end in 2017, what would be the reason? And the options were Donald Trump as president or global warming. And majority of people said Donald Trump as president. There are some funny questions too about the presidential race. One of them was, what shade of orange is Donald Trump? And majority of people said Oompa Loompa. But there's like a lot of serious questions.
Religiously in the world, so we're addressing divide as something that we have to overcome.
And you know, there's a lot of talk about if Trump, if you know, if Trump wins, it's all because of Hillary, or if Hillary becomes president, it's because of the third party. But here's what people are saying if Trump were to lose the election. So it's showing a strong dislike for Donald Trump. He's behind in national polls right now. And as you can see here, it's a little scattered between small hands, Trump, and divine intervention. But it clearly says Trump will be the main reason why Trump loses the election. So there are people who feel Trump will lose the election because he wants to be a dictator. And there are, you know, some silly questions like who was the best president, and people said the name of the gorilla that was shot. So when you say that the name of the gorilla that was shot was the best president, that tells you how messed up our with oh gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say now. But no, seriously, Trump is that dangerous to the point where people actually believe that he will be a dictator. And people are saying that, you know, if the world were to end in 2017, it's because of Donald Trump being president. Oh, here's another good one. Do you support House Bill 2 in North Carolina? As you may know, Donald Trump has actually been flip-flopping on that issue. At first, he said House Bill 2 was stupid, and it's discriminatory. Now he supports House Bill 2, but this is the scatter for that. This is a good one. So the question is, do you support House Bill 2 in North Carolina? The answers, the options are hell no, it's discrimination, and yes, it protects privacy and religion. It's a toss-up and bad question. 69% of people said hell no, it is discrimination, which is the majority of people who are answering this question. So the majority on UNU do not support House Bill 2. Donald Trump says he's a friend of the LGBTQ plus community. Meanwhile, he supports House Bill 2 in North Carolina. And look who he picked as his running mate. So there's that. There's other questions here. There are actually people who are really considering Gary Johnson, as you can tell, which is their party candidate.
I hate to take a break, but we have to. Michael Phelps and Team USA in the arena next door. They'll enter with the parade of nations and athletes.
So out of Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, more people are leaning towards Gary Johnson.
Sunday night.
But yes, Donald Trump, according to UNU, majority do believe he is a very, very dangerous man. It's to the point where people are either going to vote for Hillary Clinton, third party, or just not vote at all. Which I think the not voting at all is really stupid. I think you know, voting third candidate is better than voting for Donald Trump. Like, vote for whoever. If you don't like Donald Trump, vote for Hillary or third party. I don't really care, but if you don't vote, you know, there is that possibility that Donald Trump will definitely get the presidency. That's my opinion. Many people are not. And look at this, the hashtag dump Trump.
Doesn't mean forgetting about tomorrow. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than they do for retirement. But I like to think of
majority of people do believe in dumping Donald Trump, according to the scatter.
So if you have a question about retirement, ask me.
Majority are against Donald Trump.
Casino presents another
So
drug.
it's really serious, folks, this election. This election is very serious. This cannot be taken as a joke. This man seriously wants to have code to our nuclear weapons and all. You know, it's scary. It's really scary. You know, there's actually a serious question in here saying if the world were to end in 2017, what's the reason behind it? And majority of people said Trump being elected as president. So that's how dangerous he is, folks. That's how dangerous Donald Trump is. You know, if you are anti-Donald Trump, I suggest voting for either Hillary Clinton, Gary Johnson, or Jill Stein, or write in a candidate, because not voting is not the answer to anything, and neither is voting for Donald Trump. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am saying that if you are anti-Trump, you're better off voting for a third-party candidate or Hillary Clinton. You know, vote for third party if you don't like any of them. Or if you want to vote for the lesser of two evils, vote for Hillary. You know.
Yes, it collects in the atmosphere.
You know, I'm going to be voting for Hillary Clinton because, you know, I don't see much from the third-party candidates, to be honest. I see more from Hillary. I haven't seen a rally for Gary Johnson or for Jill Stein. But you know what? Vote for whoever you want. Here it is. If the world were to end in 2017, it is because...
Yes, look at Greenland in the last decade. It's disappearing very quickly.
If the world were to end in 2017, it is because the choices were Trump became president or global warming. 94% of people said that if the world were to end in 2017, it would be because Donald Trump became president. You know, yes, global warming is a danger to our planet. And yes, global warming is an issue. But the fact that people are saying that if the world were to end next year is because Donald Trump became president, there is something wrong with our political system. There is something wrong with who the Republicans picked as their presidential candidate. I know many young Republicans who are planning to vote for Gary Johnson. I know many Republicans who are voting for Hillary Clinton because of Donald Trump. You know, it comes to show that Donald Trump is dangerous to where people are saying that Donald Trump wants to be a dictator instead of a president. It's scary, folks. It really is scary. Really scary that, you know, that people would rather have Hillary or a third candidate over Trump. That's how dangerous Trump is. He is far more dangerous than anyone else in the race. Far more dangerous. You may disagree with me. I don't care who you vote for. But this election is far way too important to sit out. And if Trump becomes president, we're all doomed. We're all doomed. He, for goodness sakes, he makes George W. Bush look like the perfect angel. I'd rather have Jeb Bush as president over Donald Trump. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. The fact that people, you know, people are really scared of Donald Trump. That is all I can say. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think Donald Trump wants to be a dictator or president? Do you agree that if the world were to end in 2017, it's because Trump became president, or do you think it's because of something else like global warming? Do you think that a third-party candidate is a better option for this election, that voting for third party is better? You know, what do you think? Who do you want to be president? Do you want Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Jill Stein, or Gary Johnson? Who are you hoping becomes president? You know, what do you think of this UNU thing? You know, do you think it's a fun way to do like a poll? Do you think it's stupid? You know, or do you think it's just fun and games? What do you think? Do you even use UNU? Let me know. So yeah. But yeah, based on UNU, you know, people are definitely scared of Donald Trump, coming from all different political parties. So yeah. Once again, this video is not sponsored by UNU. So yeah, see you next time.